Hey everyone, my name is Torment Dede, and I'll be the guest speaker for tonight. I'll be speaking on behalf of my fellow classmates, and I'm going to be talking about our presentation on clinical psychology. Ready? I'm going to share my screen, and this is our slides. So please excuse me. I'm going to be reading from my notes. You may ask, what is clinical psychology? Clinical psychology is about helping people with mental and emotional problems and focus on how people think, feel, and behave. Now you may ask, what do clinical psychologists do? They help people with trauma like losing someone or going through something hard. Treat mental illness like anxiety, depression, PTSD, and more. They teach people how to stay strong and bounce back from hard times. Now you may ask, okay, but why is this important? It is important. They care about people and treat them with kindness. They help people live better lives at home, work, and school. They teach others about mental health and reduce the shame and stigma. Because there are some people that believe that anyone who seeks mental health is that's seeing a psychiatrist, that's seeing a therapist, or going to a school counselor. They start to view you as someone who has issues or problems or even crazy. But that can't be anything far away from the truth. You may ask, okay, well, if I'm interested in this particular field, what are some of the education requirements? Well, I'm glad you asked. What do you need to become one? First, you need a bachelor's degree. You have to go to school for 4 years. You have to complete your 4 years degree in psychology. Following that, you should go and get your master's degree and your doctorate degree in clinical or counseling psychology or social work in that field related for it to be valid. Okay, so then what do you learn in school? So what are you going to learn? What are those courses that you're going to learn while you're pursuing this degree? You're going to learn how to grow and develop, how to recognize and treat mental health problems, how to work with people from different backgrounds, how to do research and gather evidence. Now you're going to ask, okay, well, what's the licensing that I'm going to need? You must pass the national exam, work under a licensed supervisor, keep learning through training even after graduation. So you just never stop learning. You keep learning, you keep learning, you keep learning, you keep learning. It's important that you continue to keep learning because the same way technology change is the same way information change. So the higher your education, the better. The better networking you can do with other people, and the higher chances you have when it comes to employment. Because if you go into a job with this particular field and you only have your bachelor's degree versus when you're competing against someone else who has their master's degree or someone who has their doctor's degree, the employer is going to go with someone who has their doctor's degree because they have a higher level of education, which also means that they have a higher level of understanding of what they're doing. So it's really important that you take this education process and licensing process seriously if you want to be successful and also make a lot of money in this particular field. Now you may ask, okay, but what is the goal after all of this? The goal is to be ready to give the best help to all kinds of people in all kinds of in the best professional way. I truly believe that you also be doing the will of God if you go into this field because you will be helping people. You'll be making the world a better place and you will just be doing the will of God. Clinical counseling and specialties. So you may ask, well, okay, with this degree, what other fields can I go into if I want to go into clinical psychology? Well, you can go into, you could be a therapist, you could be a high school counselor, um, you can go into a lot of fields with this particular degree. It just all matters about which direction you want to take and how long you want to be in school for. Now you may ask, okay, well, after I do all of this, how much money can I make? So I'm glad you asked. Again, depending on your education background and experience, those are the two things you're going to need for you to be able to make a lot of money. I know most people's dreams are making at least $100,000 a year. Um, a clinical psychiatrist makes around $100,000 a year, and clinical counselors makes around 69,000 to $86,000 a year. Again, based on experience and education background, is really going to determine how much money you're going to make in this field. Why do people love this career? Flexible hours, work settings like private practice, hospitals, or schools. You get to help people grow and feel better and help them succeed in life. It's more than just a paycheck. Guide you get to guide someone on a healing journey. You help people through their pain and you help people go through their pain and into a better life. Like I said, I personally think you'll be doing it with God. The benefits of clinical psychology, they help more than just they help more than just the person. Clinical psychologists speak up for mental health rights. They make more people, especially in poor communities, get access to care. The support for families and communities. Families, therapists help couples and parents work through problems. Substance and counselors help people stay clean and avoid jail or homelessness. They create change, help people heal emotionally, help people grow strong and feel confidence. They teach others that mental health is just as important as physical health. Remember, living a purposeful life begins with self-awareness and emotional health. So, thank you guys for um, listening to my presentation today, and I hope this was very persuasive. And you guys have a great day. Thank you.